Nimisha Priya, a 38-year-old nurse from Kolangode, Palakkad, Kerala, was scheduled to be executed in Yemen on July 16, 2025, for the 2017 murder of her Yemeni business partner, Talal Abdo Mahdi. However, her execution was postponed at the last minute due to intense efforts by the Indian government, the Kerala government, religious leaders, and advocacy groups. Here's a straightforward look at her case, the efforts to save her, and the role of various stakeholders. We move on to the background of the case. Nimisha moved to Yemen in 2008 to work as a nurse, seeking better opportunities to support her family, who were daily wage workers. In 2011, she married Tommy Thomas, and they had a daughter in 2012. Due to Yemen's civil war and financial issues, her husband and daughter returned to Kerala in 2014, but Nimisha stayed to run a clinic she opened with Mahdi, a local businessman, as required by Yemeni law. The partnership turned sour. Nimisha alleged Mahdi abused her, stole clinic funds, and withheld her passport, trapping her in Yemen. In July 2017, desperate to retrieve her documents, she sedated Mahdi with ketamine, but an overdose led to his death. With help from another nurse, Hanan, she dismembered and disposed of his body in a water tank. Nimisha was arrested near the Saudi border, convicted of murder in 2018, and sentenced to death in 2020. Her final appeal was rejected in 2023, and Yemen's Houthi authorities approved her execution in January 2025. What are the efforts taken to save Nimisha? Under Yemen's Sharia law, Nimisha's only chance for release is a pardon from Mahdi's family, often in exchange for diyat, or blood money. Her case is complicated by Yemen's civil war and India's lack of diplomatic ties with the Houthi-controlled Sana'a, where Nimisha is imprisoned. Despite these challenges, multiple efforts are underway to secure her release. First, we check out the Union Government of India's role. The Indian government has been actively involved, though limited by the lack of formal diplomatic channels with the Houthis. Key efforts include diplomatic negotiations. The Ministry of External Affairs, MEA, has been in regular contact with Yemeni jail authorities and the prosecutor's office, securing the postponement of Nimisha's execution on July 16, 2025. They've worked to buy time for negotiations with Mahdi's family. Supreme Court updates. On July 14, 2025, Attorney General R. Venkataramani told the Supreme Court that India had exhausted all diplomatic options, including reaching out to an influential Yemeni sheikh. The government emphasized that blood money negotiations are private, but they've supported efforts to facilitate talks. The court adjourned the case to July 18th, awaiting updates on negotiations. Support for family. The MEA assisted Nimisha's mother, Prema Kumari, in traveling to Yemen in April 2024, despite a travel ban, to negotiate directly with Mahdi's family. Indian officials have maintained contact to ensure her safety and support her efforts. The government has described the situation as complex due to Yemen's unstable political climate and Houthi control, but it continues to explore back channels for a resolution. Kerala government's role. The Kerala government has played a supportive role, focusing on advocacy and coordination. Chief Minister's appeals. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan wrote to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on July 13, 2025, urging immediate intervention, citing Nimisha's case as deserving sympathy. He referenced earlier appeals in February and March 2025, pressing for diplomatic action. Governor's involvement. Kerala Governor R.V. Arlikar has actively supported efforts. On July 10, 2025, he met Nimisha's husband, Tommy Thomas, and Congress MLA Chandi Uman, contacting MEA officials to push for action. He also spoke with Prema Kumari in Yemen, assuring her of support. Coordination with advocates. The Kerala government has worked with the Save Nimisha Priya International Action Council, a group of NRI activists and supporters, to amplify efforts and coordinate with central authorities. Role of religious leaders. Religious leaders, particularly from Kerala's Muslim community, have been pivotal in breaking communication barriers with Mahdi's family. Kanthapuram AP Abu Bakr Musliar, known as the Grand Mufti of India, this prominent Sunni cleric intervened by contacting Yemeni religious authorities. His efforts, through Kerala's Markaz, led to negotiations with Sheikh Habib Umar bin Hafiz, a Yemeni Sufi scholar, who engaged Mahdi's family. For the first time, the victim's brother agreed to talk, a breakthrough credited to Musliar's influence. Sheikh Habib Umar bin Hafiz. This Yemeni scholar, connected to Musliar, met with Mahdi's family in Damar on July 15, 2025, to discuss a pardon in exchange for blood money. His involvement was seen as a positive signal, after years of failed attempts to reach the family. Community support. The Muslim community in Kerala rallied behind Musliar, leveraging religious and cultural ties to appeal to Yemeni leaders, emphasizing humanity over politics. Other efforts made by other people and organizations are from Save Nimisha Priya, International Action Council. This group, formed in 2020, has been central to the campaign. They've raised $1 million through crowdfunding to offer as blood money and proposed free medical treatment in Kerala for a family member of Mahdi's choice. Activists like Samuel Jerome Bhaskaran, based in Yemen, have negotiated directly with the family. Prema Kumari's role. Nimisha's mother has been in Sana'a since April 2024, meeting her daughter in prison and negotiating with Mahdi's family. Her persistence, despite personal hardship, has kept the case alive. International support. Iran's Foreign Minister Syed Abbas Araghchi appealed for Nimisha's pardon in February 2025, discussing her case with Houthi representatives. This added an international dimension to the efforts. What's the current status and challenges? The postponement of Nimisha's execution on July 16, 2025, offers hope. But her release hinges on Mahdi's family accepting blood money, which they've been reluctant to do. The lack of diplomatic ties with the Houthis, Yemen's civil war, and the family's initial refusal to negotiate have made the case complex. The trial itself was controversial, as Nimisha's supporters claim she lacked proper legal defense and an interpreter, with proceedings conducted in Arabic, a language she doesn't speak. Negotiations continue, with the Save Nimisha Priya Council and Prema Kumari pushing for a pardon. The Indian and Kerala governments, along with religious leaders, remain cautiously optimistic, but the outcome depends on private talks with Mahdi's family. The Supreme Court will review progress on July 18, 2025. Why this matters? Nimisha's case is more than a legal battle. It's a story of a woman caught in a war-torn country, facing systemic challenges. Her supporters argue she was a victim of abuse and exploitation, acting out of desperation. The combined efforts of the Indian and Kerala governments, religious leaders, and activists show a rare unity of diplomacy, faith, and grassroots action. For Nimisha's family, her husband, daughter, and mother in Yemen, it's a race against time to save a loved one. For India, it's a test of humanitarian resolve in a complex global landscape.